Look at if f of x is increasing in closed A comma B. Look at here. F of x is increasing in closed A comma B. Then f of x increasing or decreasing. Then f of x equal to 0 will have 0 or maximum one root in A comma B. Look at here. Look at this. If f of x is increasing or decreasing in A comma B, let us say this is x-axis and this is y-axis, right? So in A to B, let us say, look at A is here, let us say, B is here. In A to B, suppose increasing means what? From down to up, A to B. Suppose graph can be like this, whatever I am trying to look at. So suppose f of A value is here. Depending upon the f of A, you will have roots. F of B is here. Then f of A positive here. F of A positive. F of B positive. Look at here how the graph is. Like this it can be. That means from f of A value is here, f of B value is here. How many roots are there? From here to here graph is increasing. That means it won't cut x-axis at any point. What is meant by root? If it cuts x-axis, then that point is called root. So this graph will not cut x-axis, no root. No root of f of x equal to 0. No root of f of x equal to 0. Suppose another case you take. Suppose f of A is here, B is here, and f of A negative. That means point is here. F of B negative. Point is here. And increasing. Look at how the graph is increasing. Look at from here to here, A to B increasing. That means the graph will not cut x-axis. So therefore no root. Therefore, in this case, there is no root of f of x equal to 0. Suppose the graph is like this, look at. F of A negative. F of A negative. Here point will be f of B positive. Right? From here to here, if we connect, then what happens? There is a root here. There is a root alpha. Here, how many roots are there? One root. That means, look at, if f of x is increasing, f of A negative, f of B positive. If these are opposite sides, f of A negative, f of B positive, then if you draw an increasing function like this, how many roots will be there? One root will be there. That means if f of x is increasing, then it can have 0 roots in these two cases like this, or maximum one root will be there. Maximum one root. When it will be one root? F of a negative, f of b positive. In this case, one time it will cut. In a to b increasing function. Suppose look at next, decreasing. Suppose in decreasing case, suppose a is like this, b is like this, f of a positive here and f of b positive. So graph is here, decreasing. F of a is here, f of a will be more. F of a is here graph and f of b is here. Right here. So decreasing function means it will be like this. Look at f of a positive, f of b positive here. That means what? From here to here, draw from above to below. Decreasing means. So number of times it is cutting x-axis is what? 0. Therefore no roots. No roots. Suppose graph is like this. Look at whatever I am drawing. F of a positive, f of a positive here, f of b negative. This is the graph. Suppose a to be decreasing, how the graph will be. Look at how many times graph cuts x-axis one time. That is called root. At this point, f of x will be 0. At this point, f of x will be what? 0. The point where the graph cuts x-axis, that is called root of that f of x equals 0. Like that, whenever in an interval, if f of x is completely increasing or completely decreasing, then f of x equals 0 will have either 0 roots or maximum one root. Maximum one root. Because you can ask, sir, why sir there won't be any two roots? Because from here to here it increases. Again it comes down, then there will be root. But in this interval, it is only increasing, it won't be down. Look at again root will be there. If it comes down like this, then root will be there. But in this interval, it will not decrease, it will only increase. In this interval, it is decreased. Again, if it comes above like this, then there will be root. But in that interval, I told that it is strictly decreasing only. Again, it won't come up. If it comes up, there is a chance of another root. Look at this is very important point. Regarding roots of f of x equals 0, always we will draw graph of f of x equals 0 and then see how many times it will cut. Look at we will come to know now how to draw the graph of any graph of f of x. Look at in general, look at in general, if f of a comma f of b, if f of a comma f of b are of opposite signs, Look at, if f of a comma f of b are of opposite signs, then f of x equal to 0, f of x equal to 0, will have one root or three roots or odd number of roots. Odd number of roots. Odd number of roots. Are of opposite signs means this condition also you write. F of A into F of B less than 0. Opposite signs means this plus, this minus, this minus, this plus. That means product will be what? F of A into F of B less than 0. Look at here. Now I have not told it is increasing or decreasing. Suppose look at. Right? Odd number of roots in A comma B. Look at. Suppose A let us say like this. A let us say like this. B let us say like this. Right? So f of A and f of B are of opposite signs. Let us say f of A is like this. Negative. F of A negative. Graph is here. F of B positive. F of B positive like this. Right? So now look at, I have not told from A to B increasing. If the graph is like this, it is increasing, let us say, then there will be one root. Whatever I am pointing out is one root. Whatever I am pointing out is one root. That means in A to B, if it is strictly increasing, how many roots will be there? One root will be there. That is minimum one root. Suppose graph can be like this, look at. Like this, like this, like this. Graph can be like this also. From here it has gone up and then down and then like that. That means how many are there? This, one root, two roots, three roots. Like that again, like this, like this, like this. In that case, five roots will be there. That means if it is strictly increasing, then one root will be there, minimum. Right? Generally, if f of A comma f of B are of opposite signs, then f of x equal to 0 will have one root or three roots or odd number of roots in A comma B, because from A to B graph you have to draw the graph. You can draw straight forward like this, or otherwise from A to B in zigzag manner you can draw like that, right? Wait a signal problem. Like that. So if they are of opposite signs, then minimum one root will be there. In this case, look at. In this case, there will be, write this. There will be, you can say, there will be at least one root for f of x equal to 0. If f of A comma f of B are of opposite signs, you can say there will be minimum one root for f of x equal to 0. In general, it can be one root or three roots or odd number of roots depending on the graph. But minimum one root will be there. Minimum when if it is increasing function. Or it can be decreasing also. Look at. Suppose f of A positive. Here f of B negative. F of B negative. Look at. There will be minimum one root if the graph is like this. Minimum one root. Here it has cut. Suppose if the graph is like this. Look at, I am drawing. How many roots are there? 1, 2, 3. Like that, odd number of roots will be there. This is called intermediate value property. Intermediate value property. Intermediate value property. Look at next. Write one point. Write one point. For drawing, right? For drawing the graph of, y equal to f of x. For drawing the graph of y equal to f of x, find the intervals, in which, f of x increases, comma, f of x decreases, comma, f of x decreases, and then accordingly draw the graph. Suppose you have to draw a particular graph. It can be in some interval it can be increasing, in some interval it can be decreasing. That means where it will be increasing, where it will be decreasing, you have to find out and then start drawing the graph. Whenever you are drawing the graph, find the intervals of increase and decrease. Right? Note down one problem. If alpha, comma, beta, comma, gamma, comma, delta are roots of 3x power 4 minus 4x cube minus 36x square plus 28 equal to 0. Find the value of step of alpha plus step of beta plus step of gamma plus step of delta. Look at this problem. Equal to dash. Look at. So this is regarding roots. That means first you have to find graph of, look at, take f of x equals to this. We have to draw the graph of this. 4x cube minus 36x square plus 28. Right? We have to draw the graph of this. Look at, write f dash x. Write f dash x equals to intervals of increase and decrease. That means 12x cube minus 12x square derivative minus 72x. Take common. 12x you take common. X square minus x minus 6. Factorize. 12x into x minus 3 into x plus 2. X plus 2. Now f dash x equal to 0. Implies x equal to minus 2 comma 0 comma 3. Critical points these are. Critical points. Now look at how I am drawing the graph. Look at how I am drawing the graph. Look at x-axis is this minus infinity to infinity. Okay. Anytime you have to construct the graph like this, minus infinity to infinity. Minus infinity to infinity. Mark these points and this is y-axis. This is y-axis. Right? So mark these points. Minus 2 is where? Minus 2 is here. Minus 2 is here. 0 is here. This is where f dash x equal to 0. 0 is here. And then 3. 3. Right? So now, so here f dash x is positive or negative. Look at in this interval, first interval, minus 3 you substitute. Minus 3 means this is minus 3, minus 6, minus 1, negative, negative, negative. So here the function will be decreasing. The function will be decreasing, right? In the first interval, this is first interval. This is first interval. So minus 2 to 0, second interval. This is second interval. So all got odd powers. That means here it will be increasing plus, and then from 0 to 3 it will be minus, and from 3 to infinity it will be plus. Minus infinity to minus 2 decreasing, minus 2 to 0 increasing, 0 to 3 decreasing, and 3 to infinity increasing. Like that graph will be. Right? Now you have to draw the graph. You know that minus infinity to minus 2, it is increasing. Calculate the values. Look at, I am calculating the values. How the values will be at minus infinity. Look at, I am calculating. F of minus infinity. How f of minus infinity will be? Here at this point, how the graph will be, you have to calculate. Look at minus infinity means x power 4 you take common. X power 4 if you take common, always minus infinity means you have to calculate limit extends to minus infinity. Limit extends to minus infinity. This one, f of x. That means x power 4 take common. X power 4 into 3 minus 4 by x minus 36 by x square. Limit 28 divided by x power 4. That means if you substitute minus infinity, this will become 0, this will become 0, this will become 0. 3 into plus infinity, 3 into plus infinity. That means f of minus infinity is what? Plus infinity. F of minus infinity is what? Plus infinity. That means at this point, minus infinity graph will be somewhere here, above, completely maximum. That means at minus infinity graph will be like this. Similarly at f of minus 2, f of minus 2, f of minus 2, calculate the value and tell f of minus 2, calculate the value and tell her. In this minus 2 you substitute, what is the value you will get? Somebody tell. Minus 2, at minus 2 what is the value? Substitute minus 2 in this, keep fast, substitute that and tell the value. I am waiting for somebody to tell. Just 3 into minus 2 to the power 4 minus 4 into minus 2 whole cube minus 36 into minus 2 whole square plus 28. Fast. Check whether you are getting positive or negative. That is important. That is important. Chapalam. All right. Pranit enta? Minus 36. Solution? సృజన ఎంత -36 కరెక్టేనా? మైనస్ రైట్ చూడండి -36 చూడండి. అట్లానే నెక్స్ట్ f(3) క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసి పెట్టుకోవాలి. చూడండి -36 అని -36 పెట్టండి ఇక్కడ. f(-2) ఎక్కడ ఉంటుంది? -36 మీన్స్ ఆర్బిటరీ డౌన్. నెగిటివ్ మీన్స్ హియర్ సమ్వేర్. లెట్ us say this is -36. ఆర్బిటరీ యు మార్క్. చూడండి గ్రాఫ్ ఎలా గీస్తున్నాం. -36 ఇక్కడ ఉంటుంది. -36 అంటే రైట్. సో లుక్ ఇట్. నెక్స్ట్ చూడండి. నెక్స్ట్ 0 ఈ పాయింట్ ఉంది కదా, f(0) ఈజీగా వచ్చేస్తుంది కదా. f(0) అంటే 28 అమ్మ. 28 ఈ పాయింట్స్ పెట్టాం కదా, -2, 0, 3 వాటి దగ్గర వాల్యూస్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయాలి. f(0) అంటే 28 సమ్వేర్ హియర్. నెక్స్ట్ f(3) క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేసి చెప్పాలి ఫాస్ట్ గా. f(3) వాల్యూ చెప్పాలి. f(3) వాల్యూ చెప్పాలి. f(3) ఎంతమ్మా? -161. వెరీ గుడ్. -161 రైట్. చూడండి f(3) -161 అంటే కింద ఉంటుంది, దీనికంటే కింద. చూడండి ఆర్బిటరీగా కొంచెం అటు ఇటుగా పెట్టండి, కరెక్ట్ గా ఏం అవసరం లేదు, పెద్ద నెంబర్ కదా. అంటే -161 ఇక్కడ ఉంటుంది చూడండి. సో ఇది ఈ పాయింట్ అన్నమాట. చూడండి ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ నేను ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తున్నాను. ఫస్ట్ ఎక్కడ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది? ఈ పాయింట్స్ పెట్టాం. -2 I have marked -2, 0, 3 right. From here to here decreasing, from here -2 to 0 increasing, 0 to 3 decreasing, 3 to infinity increasing. After that you have to find at -infinity what is the value. You got +infinity this. So at -2 what is the value? You got -36. So graph will be below. f(0) is 28. Graph will be here. f(3) is -161. Graph will be here. Next f of +infinity. Look at, I am writing. +infinity means limit extends to +infinity. Whenever infinity is there, you have to calculate limit. Look at here. +infinity means this will become 0, this will become 0, this will become 0. 3 into +infinity, that means +infinity. At +infinity, graph will be somewhere above, somewhere above completely, like this. Maximum. Look at how the graph I am drawing. After this is over values, graph, look at from -infinity to -2 decreasing. That means -infinity, this is the point, -2, this is the point. Connect those with a decreasing downfall. From here to here, downfall, right? So next, -2 to 0 increasing. That means from this point to this point, from top to bottom, or from bottom to top. Here top to bottom, decreasing means top to bottom. So increasing means from bottom to top. Connect that point. Connect that point like this. Connect that point like this. Right? Don't take there and like this. Not like this. Connect with an increasing function. It will be in between this and this only. This over. So from 0 to 3 decreasing. Again from top to bottom. Connect this point to this point. From top to bottom. In between 0 and 3 only. So this is decreasing, and then at infinity it is infinity. So from here it goes from bottom to top, like this. So how many roots are there? Look at graph is clear. How many roots are there? Let us say this is alpha. This is alpha. Let us say this is beta. Let us say this is gamma. Let us say this is delta. So from the graph, it is clear that there are four roots. Four roots. Two negative roots are there. Two positive roots are there. This is the graph of f of x. Now he is asking step of alpha plus step of beta plus step of gamma plus step of delta. How to do that? Look at. Look at here. How to do that? Now look at. If you want to find step of alpha, if you want to find step of alpha, you have to find between which integer and which integer alpha lies. Between which integer and which integer alpha lies. Look at here. F of minus 2 you got negative. F of minus 2 you got negative. F of minus 2 already you know it is negative. Look at left side of it immediate integer you take. You tell f of minus 3. F of minus 3 calculate f of minus 3 whether it is positive or negative. Tell first f of minus 3. First term f of minus 3. చెప్పాలి f of minus 3 f of minus 3 పాజిటివ్ వస్తుందా నెగిటివ్ వస్తుందా చెప్పాలి అంతే పాజిటివా నెగిటివా వాల్యూ కూడా అవసరం పాజిటివా నెగిటివా అంతే చెప్పమ్మ వాల్యూ అరే సరిగ్గా చూడరా నెగిటివ్ గా తప్పు కేశవ్ గుప్తా వాల్యూ ఎంత వచ్చిందిరా రైట్ చూడమ్మా ఒకసారి f of minus 2 negative f of minus 3 positive means f of minus 3 will be here left to alpha minus 3 will be there positive means what this minus 3 definitely will lie left to minus 3 because f of minus 3 you got positive means at minus 3 graph will be above. Right? That means we can clearly say alpha lies between minus 3 and minus 2. So alpha will lie between minus 3 and minus 2. Because f of minus 3 positive, f of minus 2 negative. That means definitely graph will intersect between minus 3 and minus 2. Like that you have to find in between which integers root will lie such that one is positive, one is negative. Both must be of opposite signs. So therefore, if alpha lies between minus 3 and minus 2, step of alpha is what? Minus 3. Minus 3. So one root place. Next immediately, next root look at. F of 0 is there. 0 is positive. Look at f of 0 is positive. F of 0, look at here. 0 positive, right? So left to 0, where is the integer? F of minus 1 you tell her. F of minus 1, positive or negative? Root lies between minus 2 and 0 actually. But let us find out f of minus 1. What is that? Positive or negative? Tell. Positive or negative? F of minus 1. Calculate that. పాజిటివ్ నెగిటివ్ చెప్పాలి. పాజిటివ్ నెగిటివ్ ఎఫ్ ఆఫ్ -1 అమ్మ నెగిటివ్ నెగిటివ్ వచ్చింది. చూడండి ఒకసారి ఎఫ్ ఆఫ్ 0 పాజిటివ్ అమ్మ. ఎఫ్ ఆఫ్ -1 నెగిటివ్ మీన్స్ -1 will lie left to beta. That means -1 will be here because that -1 graph will be here. Okay. Negative means what? At -1 graph will be somewhere here like this. That means beta lies between -1 and 0. That means we can say beta lies between -1 and 0 because f of -1 is negative and f of 0 is positive. That means definitely root will lie between -1 and 0. That means step of beta is what? -1. Beta is over. Right? Next gamma. Gamma, look at gamma. F of 3 is negative already, you know. F of 3 is negative. F of 3 is already negative. F of 3. Right? So the f of 0 is positive. Look at here. F of between 0 to 3 root is gamma. F of 0 is positive. Next integer is what? 1. F of 1 tell her immediately. F of 1. F of 1 number negative or positive? Negative. Look at f of 1 negative. F of 1 negative means 0 here positive. 1 will be here. Look at 1 will be here negative means. Right? So that means this gamma lies between 0 and 1. Gamma lies between 0 and 1. That means step of gamma is what? 0. If gamma lies between 0 and 1, integer part will be what? 0. So next similarly, clearly, this delta root will be greater than 3. F of 3 is what? Negative. F of 4 calculate. F of 3 negative. F of 4 ఏమొస్తుంది చెప్పండి. Positive, right? Very good. Positive. That means చూడండి. F of 3 negative graph ఇక్కడ ఉంది. F of 4 positive means after gamma it will lie 4. Right? Here. That means this delta lies between 3 and 4. That means clearly delta lies between 3 and 4. That means step of delta is what? 3. Step of delta is what? 3. So therefore you got step of alpha plus step of beta plus step of gamma. So therefore your required answer is step of alpha plus step of beta plus step of gamma plus step of delta. So therefore what is the answer? So -4 plus 3, that means -1, that is the answer. Simple look at, I will explain once again. First construct the graph and after that alpha root bit is between which integer and which integer you have to calculate. F of -2 is negative. Less than that you trace out one integer -3. It is positive, therefore it lies between -3 and -2. So that means step is -3. F of -2 negative. So f of -2, f of 0 is positive here and f of -1 I have calculated. -1 is negative, that means it lies between -1 and 0. So next f of 0 is positive, f of 1 is negative, gamma lies between 0 and 1. So next f of 3 is negative, f of 4 is positive, it lies between 3 and 4. Step you calculate. Like that root problems, whenever you will get, you have to construct the graph. Mute down number, mute down. So next problem. Find number of roots of x power 5. Look at them. X power 5 plus 5x cube plus 10x plus 25 equal to 0. చూడండి. So number of roots కనుక్కోవాలి. Number of roots. Take this as f of x. Whenever roots problem is given, you have to construct the graph. X power 5 plus 5x cube plus 10x plus 25. Find f dash x. Find f dash x. 5x power 4 plus 15x square plus 10. 15x square plus 10. You can observe this is even power, this is even power, this is positive, this is positive, this is positive. Always positive. That means it increases always. Increases in minus infinity, comma infinity. No need to write the sign diagram. Clearly it is positive, it is positive, it is positive. So therefore it always increases in minus infinity to infinity. Look at here. This is minus infinity. This is plus infinity. This is y-axis, right? So minus infinity to infinity, only increasing function. Now I am calculating f of minus infinity. Look at limit. Limit extends to minus infinity. Take common. X power 5 you take common. Just like infinity problems. 5 by x square plus 10 by x power 4 plus 25 divided by x power 5. If x is minus infinity, this will become minus infinity into this is 0, this is 0, this is 0. That means minus infinity. F of minus infinity, the graph will be here. The graph will be here, right? So then f of plus infinity is what? If you apply limit, this will become plus infinity into these are all zeros. So plus infinity. That means at infinity, graph will be somewhere here above. From minus infinity to infinity, increasing function. That means from this point to this point, bottom to top, connect that. Bottom to top, connect that. Look at like this increasing function. So how many roots are there? How many roots are there? Only one root. So one root. Just increasing means nothing is there. From bottom to top, you connect that point. So in between it will cut. Now how many times it will cut? Only once. Because it won't come down again. Only one root. You can ask why here only it cut. It can be like this because f of 0 is what? F of 0 is 25. At 0, 25, na? That's why while going through, it must also cut y-axis at 25. That's why I have drawn like this. You can ask why you have not drawn like this. Okay, now because f of 0 is 25. That's why passing through this point I have drawn. That means this equation will have one negative root. One negative root. This alpha is what? Negative. Because f of 0 is 25. While joining this to that, you have to join this also. It must pass through negative root. Because from the equation it is clear f of 0 is 25. Na? That graph must pass through 25 on y-axis. Look at another problem. Second problem. Look at, he has given the equation like this. 3 power x plus 4 power x. Look at this. So for this equation, he is asking to find the roots. Whenever such type of typical equation is given, you cannot solve directly. You have to draw the graph of that. Look at this equation. I am converting like this: 2 power x. Just converting the equation equal to 5 to the power x. That means 5 this side, 5 this side. That means 2 by 5 to the power x plus 3 by 5 to the power x, 4 by 5 to the power x minus 1 equal to 0. This equation is same as this equation, right? Now you have to find how many roots are there for this equation. Take this as f of x and construct the graph. Right? F of x graph I have to draw. Then first immediately where it will increase, where it will decrease, I have to find out. So f dash x I am writing. Look at f dash x is nothing but what is the derivative of this a power x log 2 by 5 to the base e, a power x log a 3 by 5 to the power x log 3 by 5 to the base e plus 4 by 5 to the power x log 4 by 5 to the base e. This is the derivative. Now you can observe this is positive 2 by 5 to the base e, that is 2 by 5 to the power x. This is positive, and this log 2 by 5, this 2 by 5 means what? 0.4. This is 2.72. So this will be what? Negative. This is lesser than this. That means you are getting this is positive, this is negative, plus this is positive, this is negative. 0.6, that is negative. So this is positive. So this is negative. That means negative, negative, negative. So that means therefore we can say f dash x less than 0. F of x decreases always minus infinity to infinity. Decreases in minus infinity to infinity. Now I am calculating f of minus infinity. Look at f of minus infinity. If you substitute 2 by 5 to the power minus infinity, 2 by 5 to the power minus infinity is what? Look at minus infinity is nothing but 5 by 2 to the power infinity. Look at this is number greater than 1 to the power infinity. This will become infinity. This will become infinity. This will become infinity. Therefore, plus infinity. Similarly, f of plus infinity 2 by 5 to the power infinity. In limits we have seen this is the number between 0 to 1. 0 to 1 to the power infinity is what? 0. That means graph will be like this. Look at I am drawing. So minus infinity plus infinity, at minus infinity plus infinity. That means this is the one. Point will be like this. At plus infinity, what is the value? No, at plus infinity minus 1. Look at 0, 0, look at 0. Here, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, minus 1, minus 1. In this you have to substitute. F of minus infinity is what? 2 by 5 to the power minus infinity. This is 5 by 2 to the power infinity. Greater than 1 to the power infinity. This is infinity. This is infinity. This is infinity. This f of plus infinity. This will become 0. This will become 0. This will become 0. And that is minus 1. So that means f of plus infinity is somewhere minus 1. Look at minus 1 you draw like this. At plus infinity minus 1. That means graph will be like this. Look at plus infinity, it will be close to minus 1. At plus infinity minus 1 means it will be close to minus 1. Not exactly minus 1. For minus 1 it will be closer. So connect this point to this minus 1. -1 కదా, -1. This is -1. At plus infinity, it will be close to -1. Close to -1. That means if you draw the graph from here to here, now look at f of 0 is what? F of 0. Just calculate. F of 0 is this is 1, this is 1, this is 1. 3 minus 1, 2. So at 0, you can say this is 2. So while joining this point also, it must pass like this. So how many roots are there? Only one root. Only one root. That is what? Positive root. If he asks about the root, it is positive root. Because f of 0 is what? Positive. That's why while joining the graph, I have let that pass through that point also. Like this graph will be the 3 point. So one root, this is alpha, and that is positive root. Like that, one simple fundamental. Whenever the typical equation is given, if you want to flute the answer, then write answer one root. Because he will give either strictly increasing function or strictly decreasing function. Most of the problems, one root will be there, but not probably 100%. If you want to take a flute, write one root. Like that, look at f of x is this, find f dash x. It is decreasing. So minus infinity to infinity decreasing. Calculate f of minus infinity. Here, not here. F of minus infinity is plus infinity. F of plus infinity minus 1. Mark those and then draw the graph decreasing. Look at one more problem.